Hello, this is case study number 3 for the course SPCE 683 section A02, and my name is Rosemary Perez. The client is a male, 8 years old. He's in second grade at an elementary school. His diagnosis is ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, combined type. He has developmental articulation disorder, delayed developmental milestones, and anxious mood. The behaviors of concern are non-compliance with activities of daily living, tantrums, and wandering. The therapy types at the moment are speech, occupational, and ABA therapy, and the interventions that work for the client include functional communication training, DRA, redirection, and escape extension. When training and supporting staff on implementing the interventions for this client, I would first do shadow sessions. In these sessions, I would like to allow new hires to observe experienced staff in real life scenarios, and also focus on understanding client profiles, section structures, and common interventions that could be used as well. And then I would also like to include Reliance training. And for this, I would like to do quizzes and assessments to gain understanding and to allow hires to have a better understanding of the intervention, how to implement it, and everything that they should know. And also, I would like to have structured training sessions. These are very practical and provide hands-on training in a controlled environment. It could be in the clinic, at the classroom, and at the home, but in a very controlled, structured environment that can allow the new hire to actually learn and provide opportunities to practice is very important. The new hire needs to practice in the structured environment. And also, I would also include independent session training. This is going to include gradually allowing the new hire to have sessions independently and provide the interventions by themselves, since they already have a much better understanding of how to do it. And then we're going to focus on key competencies and provide feedback on the performance so far. So those are the main points and main strategies that I would have for training the new hire. And then, very important, after all of that is completed, I would have regular check-ins on the new hire. It's very important to keep to be on top of the new hire, asking how they're doing, just making sure that they are okay, or maybe they need help. Whatever it is important to regularly check in, and also provide constructive feedback and reviews on the performance so far. That would only let the new hire know where his weakness and strengths are, what they are, and also maybe areas for improvement, which is very important. We all need to keep improving. So regular check-ins and feedbacks are going to help the new hire continue education, hopefully, and keep learning as they go. Okay, when training new staff on implementing redirection, we want to define redirection and its purpose. We want to let the new staff know how it involves guiding a person's behavior from an inappropriate to a desired behavior. We want to cover the principles and types of redirection, such as verbal, physical, and visual. We want to provide practical training, which can include modeling how to implement the intervention. We can do shadowing, having the new staff experience another staff during the session when redirection is used. And for PRIMAC principle, we want to do something very similar. We want to define what PRIMAC principle is, which involves providing the student with a highly preferred behavior that's going to make him want to do the less preferred behavior for the client. For example, going outside may be a highly preferred behavior or reinforcer for the client. So we want to use that to have the client complete his homework or his task. That could be just staying in the classroom and completing his assignment. And then we want to teach in order to have the new staff implement PMAC principle correctly. We want to teach them to identify client preferences. And then for escape extension, we want to provide initial education as well, what it is, its purpose, how to do it, its importance, and we want to provide observation, shadowing, practical training such as modeling, role play, to get the new staff to really understand how to implement it. And then we want to train the new staff on data collection and analysis of data for all three interventions. Okay, as mentioned in the previous slides, providing feedback and ongoing support is essential, especially when there is a new hire. We want to provide regular check-ins, discussing progress, addressing concerns, providing additional training as needed. We want to provide monitoring using fidelity checklists and direct observation. We want to help the new hire understand ethical considerations and consider diversity and culture, since this is very important and every BCBA or RBT should understand that. And we also want to provide feedback. We want to provide a positive environment for the new hire, constructive criticism, encouragement, actionable advice, and follow up after the new hire is more comfortable and already working with the client. Okay, when measuring validity, we want to measure whether the interventions that we use effectively address the target behavior and produce desired outcome. For this, when measuring internal validity, we want to use common designs which include single subject designs and randomized controlled trials. We want to be consistent because we want to ensure that the intervention is implemented consistently across sessions, and how the different therapists who have implemented the intervention have ruled out inconsistency as a source of behavior change. And we also want to ensure replication. We want to make sure that the interventions across different settings, individuals, and times demonstrate reliability, and that way we can rule out external influences. And then for external validity, which refers to the generalization of the findings to other settings, population, and times, we want to use generalization probes. We want to conduct assessments in different settings and with different people to determine if the behavior change persists outside of the original context. We also want to complete diverse samples. We want to use diverse participant samples to ensure that findings are applicable to a broader population. We also want to have into consideration social validity for external validity, because we want to assess whether the goals, procedures, and outcomes are socially acceptable and meaningful to the individual and relevant stakeholders, teachers, parents, all of that. And then for social validity, we want to create consumer satisfaction surveys. We want to gather feedback and information from clients, parents, teachers, and other stakeholders. We want to also complete goal attainment scaling. We want to measure whether the intervention goals are being met and if these goals are considered meaningful by stakeholders. And then also observation interviews, which is really beneficial and meaningful. Okay, when measuring integrity in future situations, I would first use checklists and protocols. I would do this to ensure that each component of the intervention is delivered correctly. I would do direct observation, direct sessions that include observations to ensure that the intervention is being implemented as designed. And I would also do integrated reliability. And for this, I would try to have multiple observers independently assess the implementation to ensure consistency and accuracy.
This way I would know if the intervention is having the same results and it's being implemented correctly.